to The Daily Decant, your 5-minute briefing on the world of wine. Each episode delivers practical insights to help you choose, order, and talk about wine with more confidence in everyday social settings. Let's get into today's decant. This week was about something subtle but incredibly powerful. Not memorizing regions, not learning technical tasting notes, not trying to impress anyone at the table. Instead, learning simple wine choices that make social situations easier. Because that's where wine confidence actually matters. Restaurants, dinner parties, client meetings, date nights, and when you're ordering for a group. These are the real moments where wine appears, and this week you built practical strategies for each of them. At the beginning of the week, we talked about one of the safest and most thoughtful wines you can bring when you do not know what the host is serving. Dry sparkling wine. It works before dinner, during dinner, and it feels celebratory without being overly formal. That's one of the easiest confident moves you can make when bringing a bottle. Then we moved into restaurant ordering. We learned that Portuguese red blends can be one of the best value choices on a wine list. They feel thoughtful, pair easily with food, and often sit comfortably in the middle of the price range. This is another example of quiet confidence. You're not choosing the most obvious bottle, and you're not overspending, but you're simply choosing something that works. Then we talked about ordering wine on a date. Pinot Noir emerged as one of the most useful options, flexible, approachable, and thoughtful without feeling flashy. It pairs with a wide range of dishes and keeps the focus on the experience. That's exactly what you want in a date night setting. Next, we moved into group situations. Sauvignon Blanc as a white wine that almost everyone likes. Chianti as an underrated red that works across different dishes and preferences. Both of these choices make ordering for a group easier, and when ordering becomes easier, the overall experience improves. Then we expanded into rosé, not just as a summer wine, but as a year-round option that sits comfortably between red and white. Rosé helps when the table is undecided, when preferences vary, and when you want something relaxed but thoughtful. Finally, we talked about one of the simplest, confident restaurant moves. Ask for a recommendation in the middle of the list. This shifts the focus from price to experience, encourages discovery, and often leads to better wines without overspending. When you step back and look at the full week, a pattern starts to emerge. Confidence with wine is not about knowing everything, but it's about knowing a few reliable choices. Sparkling wine when you don't know the menu, Portuguese reds for value, Pinot Noir for date night, Sauvignon Blanc for groups, Chianti for shared meals, and rosé when you want flexibility. And asking for mid-range recommendations when you're unsure. These are simple moves, but they make a meaningful difference. Because when you remove uncertainty, you can become more comfortable. And when you're more comfortable, you enjoy the experience more. And that's the goal of the Daily Decant. You don't need expertise or memorization, just practical wine knowledge that helps you navigate real-world situations with confidence. So here's your takeaway for the week. You don't need to know everything about wine. You need a few reliable choices that work in common situations. And this week, you built exactly that. So that's today's Daily Decant. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe and share with your friends so you can continue building your wine knowledge in just a few minutes a day. See you tomorrow for your next decant.